Right, this time I'm going to be sowing some beans, and I'm using a completely different type of seed tray. These are called root trainers. Root trainers have been around to the nursery trade for a very long time. I love them for things that are deep rooted, so that's the likes of sweet peas, climbing beans, dwarf beans, and peas. So anything that produces basically a longish tap root, and you get these, and again they're in plastic, but you reuse these. These fold together and you pinch them together at the top and they sort of lock in place. And then you can then pack, here are some I've done earlier, as in good old Blue Peter style, just to pack them together. I'm just going to do this last one, squeeze that together at the top so that they lock in place. And the nice thing is about these is once you've actually got the pea or bean growing away and you come to transplant them and plant them outside, you open up the entire tray, you've got all the roots inside, and you just literally lift out the lump of compost and the plant and just pop it in the ground. So these are root trainers, readily available in the garden centres or online. So you slot them all in there nice and tight together. So there's 32, I think, or was it 36? There's 8, 4, 8, 32. Yep, cells there. So you fill this up with compost. Again, a good quality compost. Don't stinge on the compost. You need something that's going to produce good results. So there've been, over the last few years, quite a lot of problems with compost where it's not been particularly good quality, and where the germination has been very poor, or the plants haven't grown very well. They've grown all distorted because they've ended up with some weed killer in the compost. That's the only trouble when sometimes you end up with the green compost mixes. So you fill those up to the top. I'm just going to put a little bit more at the front here, just to do those. And it's great fun growing lots of different varieties of beans as well. I know a lot of you will grow just runner beans, but I like the climbing French beans or ballottis. I find them a bit more tasty, to be honest. And you get some amazing colours with the seeds. Lovely sort of rusty browns. You can get some which are like this one from Pennard Plants, a very, very old variety. It's the pea bean. And this dates back to 1597. And look at the colour of those. They're white and purple. You can get them in white colours. This is a Marvel of Venice. This is one of my favourites, and that's a white podded pea. The actual beans themselves are yellow, so it gives you a little bit of colour contrast. You get different colours of flower. The bees absolutely love them as well. I'm going to sow some Belotti, and this is a variety from Frenchy Seeds called Bellotto Lamont. And again, lovely coloured seed, and that's the size of them. And again, lovely markings, sort of pink and brown. And with these, you push them into the ground, you just sort of end on, push them down into the compost. Some people will actually put them a bit on the side. To be honest, it's better if you can actually sow them that way round. And sometimes you actually find that there's a sort of dormant root against the side of the seed pod there. Just push them down nice and neatly, and then pop them all the way along there. And again, as I mentioned earlier, label them up and just cover them over with a bit more compost. And that is, I'm just going to do those few there, and that's will give you a great crop. Again, they need it warm. So those will germinate in about a week, actually. So around about 18 to 20 degrees in a nice warm position in the conservatory or against a window, and they won't take any frost at all. So if you need to give them the protection. So as those germinate and start to grow away, keep them warm until the risk of frost has gone pretty well. So we won't be able to plant these out really until the end of May. Peas, you can also use the root trainers for growing peas in. One of my favourites is alderman. This grows tall. This will grow to 2 meters in height. It's a climbing pea, so you need pea sticks for it to climb up. But it's an old-fashioned variety that's been around for years. Very sweet peas, lots of peas in a pod, but you can have lots of different varieties again of peas, so you can have successional sowing. So you'll have some that are short that'll crop earlier, like Meteor or Kelvedon Wonder, or if you want to grow some taller varieties, I've got some other varieties. One called Telephone here. There's Sugar Snap peas. There are so many different varieties. It's great fun to try something different, and let me know how you get on. Cheers.